For real. How is it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to Key West Waterman. My name is Aaron Young. Got the boys with me. You've met Cody and Justin's back there somewhere in a beanbag. Today is there's a grouper tournament going on down here. It's a diving, spearfishing, and fishing tournament. I think it's like biggest black grouper and biggest mutton snapper. Probably should have read the rules, but we're kind of going commercial, kind of doing the tournament. I don't think these guys entered it, but I did, just for funsies. So I'm gonna go out and look for the biggest black grouper I can find. Hopefully put a spear in it. It was supposed to be, the weatherman's really been kind of pissing it this week. It was supposed to be about, oh, a little tarpon. Supposed to be 5 to 10 this morning. Got a solid, what do you think, 14, 15 out of the south. Right in the teeth, so gonna be a little bumpier than we planned, but we're gonna head out. We got a little bit of a run. We're gonna hop in the water and do some diving. I'll see you out there. That was sporting. That is our first spot. The water is really clear. It's, like I said, 65. I can actually see the bottom, which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing, just kind of depends on the day. But the boys are in, I'm getting suited up. A little bit of a current, so we put a tag line out. Just be diving off the back of the boat. Nice one! First drop, big juicy mutton. Welcome back underwater, everybody. I do appreciate you tuning in. I had such a fun day this day. I hope you guys enjoy it half as much as I enjoyed it and enjoyed filming it. Got to see some really cool stuff. Saw a mutton spawn that I've never seen. I've seen a lot of mutton spawns. I've never seen one this big. It was wild. So I'll talk about a few dives, a couple scenarios, as always. This is our first spot. This is my very first drop. Both of the guys had already put a nice mutton snapper in the boat. This time of year, the mutton snapper will congregate a bit on the reefs to spawn. So a lot of times you'll see more than normal. You can see panning around. There's quite a few of them. I'm getting a case of puppy fever. And try to focus on one, get a good shot, nice stone shot, a shot that I like and prefer. That way I don't have to fight the fish, and it puts them out of their misery. Instantly dispatches them. A beautiful way to start the day. Goodness, there's so many muttons. We each shot one mutton. I think Justin shot a red on this spot. I didn't have a clip of it. And all the mutton disappeared. There was, when we first jumped in, there was probably 20 of them. And obviously you start shooting fish, they get a little leery, they get aware of what's going on. So they pulled 3 nice mutton, nice red grouper off this spot, and then just like that, it was vacant. First stop. I believe this was our third spot. Second spot, saw a couple groupers off in the distance. They wouldn't cooperate. This spot, I think it was last summer, end of last year, maybe last summer, we actually pulled quite a few grouper off this. This is a really good spot. Seems like someone intentionally placed this. So I wanted to come down and check it out, and I see a big old shadow, and it's a big old parrotfish hanging out in there. But a couple of spots, a few grouper weren't cooperating. Sometimes that's how it goes, especially when it's clear like this. A lot of times they see you from the surface and they skedaddle before you can even make a drop on them. The weatherman did not do us any favors today, I will tell you that much. We started out pretty hot, 3 muttons and a red. We saw a couple blacks on the second or third spot. They were just on to us. We're gonna try something a little deeper. We're pushing out into 70, 75 now, so. Just a lovely day of wind we didn't know was gonna be here. This spot is a nice roll off. It goes from probably like 55 down to, I think the sand is about 95-ish. So you can just get a good idea of how clear it actually is. The water was insanely clear. Just top to bottom. We refer to it as gin clear water. And so what's funny here is first drop, there's not, I mean, there's a couple bait fish, there's a barracuda, nothing going on. Completely vacant to the point where normally I'll do 2 or 3 drops on a spot. This one I was heading to the surface, turned my camera off. I actually was swimming towards the boat because I was going to leave. I wasn't even going to do a second drop. And it's just amazing how quickly things can change. You'll see what happens here in just a minute. Justin was like, well, let me do one, just because he wanted to take a peek. We had seen fish here before in the past, and Justin does a drop, and the camera doesn't pick it up, but here and there there's muttons coming in. They came across the shallow side out to the deep, and from the surface I could only see about 20, maybe 25 mutton snapper, and they just start to engulf us. And you'll hear what Justin says on the surface when he comes up. Did you see that? Like 20 of them just swam up in a ball. So Justin had a better perspective than I did. I thought there was 20, 25 fish came in. He said no, there was like 100. And I've seen mutton snapper spawns in my time here. Quite a few of them actually, you know, up to 30, 50 fish or so, but I've never seen one like this. Not this clip, the next clip you'll see. Just an unreasonable amount of them. So do a drop. These mutton are very frisky. They're eating the chum. We decide, since we're doing commercial, we're going to pop a few for the market. Just waiting for that right shot. Got me another stone shot there. You can see him off in the distance, but like I said, this next clip is a sight to see. I'm doing my best to stay calm here. Obviously, there's a lot of fish around, taking my time doing my breathe ups. When you have a school of fish like this, it can be very difficult to remain calm, and I'm doing my drop. I'm only 25 feet down, and I notice there's an African pompano in the middle of all this chaos, all these mutton snapper, giant school. You'll see them come, and it's weird because they look like yellowtails, and the water's so clear they look small. Every single one of these, I mean, you can see there's hundreds right here. Every single one of those mutton snappers is 10 to probably 14, 15 pounds. The one I weighed for the tournament was over 13 pounds, and it was gutted, and it was one of the average size ones. But there's an African pompano in this school. I'm going to take the African pompano. They get better price at the market, and they're just a beautiful fish. Love to shoot them. Always a treat to even see one. So got a good shot. I could tell that it went through the fish. Wasn't too worried about getting a second shot. Justin's on the surface spotting me. And they're a difficult fish to fight. They're, large. They have a lot of mass to them, almost like a sail in the water. They create a lot of drag, so I have to let them run the reel out a little bit as I'm coming up. And just working on them, throwing that line behind me. I always preach line management. Swimming forward as I'm pulling the line in and throwing it behind me. You never want to sit in one spot and pull it around you. To get it wrapped around your weight belt, around your feet, your fins, whatever. So you just want to be careful. You've got it's funny, there's an amberjack down there following it around. Just keeping an eye out for sharks.
I'm not exaggerating. There's 200 mutton snappers.
But what a treat. I mean, that clip was so cool to film. The camera doesn't capture the depth of them. I mean, in that clip alone, you could probably see 150, 200 of them. But just what a treat to see. And these mutton snapper spawns happen all up and down the reef. I mean, the Florida Keys, we have 80 miles, probably more than that, of reef line. And, there's spawns like this all over the place. You just have to be able to find them. And over the years, you locate a few areas where they'll happen. Just love seeing the population that healthy. It's awesome. And this was a treat. Was not expecting this. I don't get these on the reef very often. Just what a beautiful fish. Never gets old. So at the end of the day, we were harvesting fish for the market, so we did want to plug a few to sell. I fully could have sat here. These fish were so friendly and just plentiful. We could have sat here and shot our snapper limit, which, I don't want to do that. Just take a few to sell and then move on to the next school. But just what a treat. And it can be difficult in this situation. You get puppy fever. You can see I'm scanning around. I don't even know which one to shoot. Just try to pick one. This one is up in the column eating. Wait till I get that broadside. Got another good one.
That's a big one.
Here's another clip. You can kind of tell the mass of the school, and the camera doesn't pick up how deep it goes. I mean, right here in this frame, you could probably count at least 70, 80 of them. Just so many. Hard to believe. Here's Cody. Down grabbing one. And after all that commotion, eventually some predators are going to show up. We had a couple little sharks show up. There was a big bull, and it actually didn't stay long for some reason. These little reef sharks coming in, getting frisky, trying to get a free meal. Not today. These are the ones I worry about the most, is the smaller, frisky ones, because I just feel like they're just unpredictable. You never know. Well, that escalated quickly. We first hopped in, there was nothing. Didn't see a single fish. And came back up to the surface, was about to hop in the boat, and a wave of mutton snappers came in. One rogue AP in the mix of them all. And we took 7. Realistically, there was probably 100, what do you think, 200 fish there? Easy. That was insane. Full-blown mutton spawn. They'll stack up this time of year and do their thing. Take a few, but I could sit here and shoot our limit in them, but I'm not going to do that. But that was definitely a happy spot. On to the next. Gonna go try and find some groupers. That's a new spot. I've never dove it. Just ran it over. We're going to give it a look.
Yeah, man.
Right when we hopped in on the spot, I don't know if you saw, there's a ball of bait. We call those Speedos. One of the best black grouper baits there are. You can see them here on the bottom. So I had a feeling there were going to be some grouper around. And I do have one in mind. I could see one from the surface. Definitely looked legal. It's hard to judge fish from a distance and this depth when it's this clear, because everything looks really small from far away, to me anyways. So there's a black grouper here, and I don't know. I'm getting to the point where I think I'm trying to be too perfect with shots instead of just taking what I got. I'm trying to stone everything. I don't know why I do that. And this is a good example of I should have just taken the shot right here. Boom. But just hesitated just a second. This fish runs out. I still got a great shot on it, and I don't know how this tore out. I'm going to slow this down. I love being able to watch this back. You can see under the head of the fish, you can see my shaft sticking out right here. So the shaft went through the fish. You can see the point. The flopper fully should have toggled in there, and I don't know why it didn't. That fish ran to that rock, did a little bit of wiggling, and the shaft came out. I don't know. It was just a weird one. Sometimes if it's up against a bone or something, it won't toggle or grab a hold of something, and the flopper just pulled right out. I was pretty bummed about that.
How did that come out? He's sitting there plain as day, leaned up against that rock.
So I got a breath real quick, went right back down. I wanted to harvest this one myself because I needed to weigh a fish for the tournament. I probably should have had Justin do a drop immediately, but the fish went in that hole and he looked like he was going to stay, and I guess he squeaked out when I was up on the surface breathing up and I didn't notice it. And it was, I guess, okay enough to swim away. I really, really don't like injuring fish. It's something that does get under my skin and it bothers me, but unfortunately it does happen. Same thing with fishing. A lot of times, fish will get wrapped up in line or eaten by a shark or something. It's just the nature of the beast when you're doing this, harvesting anything. But yeah, I searched every rock within the area. I mean, I did probably 10 or 12 dives trying to find this fish, and I could not locate it. Goliath grouper. I was trying to, a lot of times I'll swim around and see if there's any nurse sharks or anything smelling around, because if the fish is bleeding, the predators will locate it and kind of hover around that rock, but no dice. Here's Justin. He got him a a nice grouper. And another nice black grouper came in. It actually had a kind of a scar on its face, and I was wondering if it was the one that I hit, but it ended up being kind of almost a rash. I see it from time to time on these fish. Not common, but from time to time I'll see it here and there. And this was actually a pretty healthy fish. It's just so clear. He saw me coming, was not interested in what I was selling, and just kind of stayed out and went out off the edge, off into the abyss. Not a bad one. Mr. Justin got him a nice black grouper. I don't know how I tore out of that fish. I hit it square in the head. I should have taken the shot earlier. I just hate that unicorn shot. It's just a lot of times you go left or right or just skim off of them. I was waiting for it to turn, and I thought I hit it good. I thought I was in range, and somehow tore out, and I could not locate the fish. But it seems it swam off okay. I just really hate that. It bugs me. It gets under my skin. Comes with the territory sometimes, but kind of forgot we're doing a tournament today. So I reckon I need to shoot a black grouper at some point. Been pretty much all mutton snappers. So we're gonna keep moving along, see if I can find a black grouper to at least weigh or something. We ended up moving into the shallower water, just getting kind of tired. It was, 1 or 2 o'clock. We'd been diving all day. Justin actually was in the water and shot a yellowjack, and he kind of had a thin shot, so he let it run, and it got wrapped up in the caves here. And he said when that happened, it created a bunch of commotion, and a black grouper came out to check him out. So he hollered at me, and I hopped in to see if I could locate it.
What happened there?
So if you watch the channel enough or at all, you know I love hunting black groupers in any scenario, but I think hunting them in caves or ledges is probably my favorite. It is very tactical, just really puts your skills to the test. These are one of the most elusive, shifty fish when it comes to structure, and I enjoy it. So I get to get the flashlight out and poke around and crawl in some caves and have some fun. There's a little red grouper there.
It's a pretty deep cave, so he's back in there somewhere, I'm sure.
Cody and I were taking turns dropping up and down, checking all these cracks. It was very, very elaborate cave system. And on his way down, 2 of them actually came out. One bigger one that we hadn't seen yet was following it. And he ended up seeing another one, so there was 3 in this same little cave section.
There's 2 of them. 3. There's 3 of them? I guess that's why my waypoint said groupers with 3 S's.
So typically dropping on a ledge, I don't think I've talked about this for a while. I want the ledge to be on the opposite side of my dominant hand. So I'm right-handed. I want the ledge I'm looking into to be on my left. It gives me a better angle with the gun coming in. If it's on my left side, it's going to be kind of cramped and at an awkward angle. So this is a unique one because I've got ledges all around me. But leading with that right hand, ledge on my left, light and the gun kind of working together, scanning around. I didn't have an exact location to where these fish were yet, so I'm searching. If I have a better idea of where they're actually at, I'm going to come in a little more tight with the gun and the flashlight looking at the same spots at the same time. That way if I do shine something, it's sitting there, I'm ready to go. But at this point, we knew they were in there somewhere, just didn't know exactly where. You can see Cody on his way up here. There's a nice grouper there sitting out in the sand. They were kind of frisky. They were in and out. They were not like rocking up and hiding completely. They were still poking in and around. Definitely curious. So I saw that one drop. And a lot of times you're going to drop out of instinct where you saw it go in last, but that's not where they're going to be, especially on a deeper cave. They're going to go through and swim somewhere else. And I'm on my way down looking for this one, and I spook a bigger one that I didn't even see it until I watched this clip back. You can see there, that was the big one that we were looking for. It was up on the top side of the ledge. I completely missed it. I just saw the cloud and heard the drum of the tail kicking, but poked my head in this one. This is where that smaller fish went, and I didn't see a single thing. You can see the dust cloud there. It was sitting up under this second shelf. That's why I love filming. I would never even known that was the big one until I watched this back.
Shooting in, shooting out, Dude, it's like the super grouper lair.
So this is something I do if the fish are being shifty. You look where you haven't seen the fish yet. So Cody did a drop before this, and he was on the top left corner of the screen. That's where he saw the big one last. So that tells me I'm not going to look there because the fish probably moved since Cody saw it. So I'm going to look, if that makes sense, I'm going to look where I haven't seen the fish yet. So this crack, I haven't seen a fish yet. Cody saw it go into that backside over there on the left. And I'm going to come up under here, hopefully anticipating the fish to be there. Got my flashlight. This was 3 dives after that last dive. And I poke my head in here, and there is the big one. Now it's sitting that unicorn style. I hate this shot because a lot of times you get meat with it. You run the shaft down the fillet. And I got lucky here because this fish sat here a lot longer than it should have. So I come around the side. I'm trying to get a better angle on it, and I'm just thinking, don't be picky, Aaron. Stop trying to get the perfect shot. And I pointed at its head and let it fly. And fish actually came out, which was a great help. I didn't have to fight it out of the ledge, and it was a beautiful fish. Actually, it was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I think a total of, between the both of us, probably a dozen dives on this one ledge.
I hate the unicorn, but I had to take it. Want this light? This current is going to be the end of me.
There we go.
Bad one. Oh gosh. Got me gilled up. A little butterball. Bigger than I thought he was.
Not a bad one. Terrible shot, but not a bad fish. Out there goofing off in 75 feet, I come into, what are we in, 35, 40? 35. Come into 35 feet and I shoot a black grouper, probably over 20. Gave him the boat way. He's looks like it'd be a little over 20, but wind finally calmed down. I think we're wrapping up here soon. Maybe hit a couple more spots. I am pooped.
One small black Goliath. I gotta hop out, I'm pooped.
Well, at least it slicked out, eh? It was not a pleasant ride this morning. But we are done. We have a very happy cooler. Plenty of fish. I actually kind of forgot we were doing a tournament and I was gutting fish the entire time. I think I gutted like the first 4 muttons I shot and I realized I have to weigh one, but very happy box. We're done. Thanks for coming, boys. Cody, you've got a sandwich right here.
Yes, sir.
It's on the other side.
Sponsor me.
We're done. We're gonna head back, get some of these fish sold and hit the scales. We'll see you there.
Dude, it kept charging my feet. It like wouldn't stop. I was like, I'm gonna have to stand on this thing.
Go and get some snapper. All right, we are here at the tournament. I'm gonna weigh some fish in. Huh? Sweet. I just found out I should have read the rules. African pompano is in the pelagic category. I'm gonna hang this somewhere up here.
We got Aaron Young weighing in. Looks like he's got grouper. Looks like a nice mutton in there too, and he's got a pelagic fish. All right, so Aaron, that's your mutton you're weighing?
Yep. Yeah, 13 on our weight.
All right, Aaron Young. 13.3 pound mutton. All right, so next part of the wild card pelagic Calcutta. First person to bring in an African pompano.
22.1.
22.1 pounds. All right, next we got Aaron's black grouper.
23.4. 23.4.
23.4 pounds.
Look at this sleepy, tipsy girl. Very sleepy. Oh, we have a pearl. Very rare. And a tune. Yeah.
And a clam.
And a clam.
Dad!
Yeah, Paddling Madeline. Whew! I am pooped. We just got back. I tried to take some video of the award ceremony or whatever. I was just kind of enjoying myself mingling. But I actually got first place free dive, which was pretty exciting. I can't remember if I took a picture of the board of all the fish. There was quite a few categories, but first, all together, first place black grouper. So you have free dive, scuba, and rod and reel. So you have first place for each, and then you have a king of the reef, which is the biggest black grouper across the board. And it was actually a buddy of mine, Austin. I think it was 57 pounds.
Plus another 300, 1,800 total. Austin Inwood. You are the new king of the reef. Come up and get your crown, boy.
Take my crown.
We crown thee king of the reef.
Was it that much? I thought it was
57? I think it was 57.
Oh my god. Okay. I thought it was in the 30s.
It was big. No, that was scuba. Or no, that was rod and reel, excuse me. Scuba was, I think it was, anyways, I think it was 57 pounds, king of the reef, biggest one. So very exciting. And I'm not going to do a recipe on this one because we sold the fish, but Will made a recipe.
Here you go.
So tell me, if you don't know, by the way, this is my roommate and best friend, Will. He has a cooking channel, Cooking with Clams, where essentially he just makes delicious stuff and he forces us to eat it.
We literally walk in the house and he's like, here, try this. And I'm like,
While Aaron was out doing the tournament, I was in the canals shooting mangrove snappers. And there you go. You
There we are. What do we have?
Hot fried mango snapper sandwich.
it's bomb.
Nashville. Is it Nashville hot?
No, not that hot.
I'm going to try it. Will you hold this?
Yes.
But it's southern hot.
Southern hot.
You're also getting the...
It looks pretty awesome.
Ooh. But I definitely
So
want
we
to
got
buy it.
mayo, onion, tomato, snapper, lettuce.
A little bit of arugula and lemon.
Was it fried?
Yeah, it was.
It's a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You should have had it fresh. It was even
Having
better.
it now though is even better.
Let me try.
The wandering hand.
This has turned into a cooking with clams episode.
That's incredible.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you want the actual recipe, I can't give it to you. If you were to cook it with clams, check it out. Who knows when it'll be out?
We never know.
You never know. That's delicious. Oh. The heat just showed up.
Yeah, it's nice, right? It's your Valentina.
That's very nice.
we have
You put that in the batter?
Yes.
So instead of batter,
Or
you dredge the fish in the Valentina, then in the flour. So it acts as the egg.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
I am on board. Ma'am? Ma'am.
oh no.
Seriously?
I'm gonna fix it. I'm trying to be your cameraman and eat. Okay, wait, close this out
You just
before you.
disassembled the sandwich.
Okay. Here you go.
That is all we have. Appreciate you guys tuning in. A little different style episode. I don't think I've ever filmed a tournament, but I had a really good time. Beautiful water, tons of fish. I won a spear gun. I can't remember if I said that. I won a spear gun.
$350.
300. Was it 50 or 300?
Whatever.
Anyways, I won some cash, a spear gun, some rum, some stickers. It was a spectacular day. Got some cool footage. Saw one of the biggest mutton snapper spawns I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I've seen a lot of spawns, like 30 to 50 fish, but that was endless. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Anyways, that is the end of this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Any comments or questions, leave them in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later.